Chapter 10. My downward spiral is interrupted by Shandel Norwood. "Jessica?" she asks, coming toward us from the left. "Jessica!" She squeals and charges at me, her arms spread wide. "Girl, you're back!" she cries, smothering me in a hug. Shandel is a sophomore, is fast enough to run the 100 for varsity, and is potentially deadly with a discus. When she hits her release right, the discus soars. But once in a while she gets turned around and sends it off in the wrong direction. All of us have learned to stand clear when Shandel's spinning toward her release. I return her hug and feel a bit calmer. "Good to see you two," I mumble into her shoulder. She pulls back and smiles, and then, what is there to say? It's not like I'll be going to track practice. It's not like we have anything else in common. "We've got to get moving," Fiona says after an awkward few seconds. "Can't have her tardy on her first day back." So Shandel waves and hurries off, and Fiona rolls me across the parking lot and around the corner to the school's entrance arch and onto campus. Fiona's moving fast and chattering away. We're lucky we don't go to one of those schools where everything's like enclosed and the halls are really crowded and you have to go up and down levels to get to class. She's right, but what I'm thinking is, how will I do this in the rain? We enter the courtyard, and as Fiona pushes me along the sidewalk, I see the first signs that she's been a busy bee. On our right is the outdoor theater, a Greek-style semicircle of stepped cement seats going down a stage, an area that the upper class tend to dominate during lunchtime. Along the far wall are balloons and a large "Welcome Back, Jessica" banner. I smile over my shoulder at Fiona, and she leans forward and whispers, "Gavin helped me put it up." The warning bell rings as she hurries me along to first period. A couple of people wave and call hello, but mostly it's people shortcutting across the lawns, hurrying to beat the next bell. "You are the best friend ever," I tell her. I love the banner. I twist around farther. "What time did you get here?" She laughs like, "Oh, you have no idea," and simply says, "Early." Liberty High is laid out like a wagon wheel, with the courtyard as the hub. In the old days, the school was much smaller, but as time's gone by, more and more portable classrooms have been added to the fields behind the school. Each segment of the wheel is called a wing, and every wing is for a certain subject area, and is named with a number. Maths is in the 900 wing. Science is in the 800 wing. English is in the 200 wing. Not the most creative, but easy to figure out. Fiona rolls me into a portable unit in the 200 wing. It's really just the educational version of a double-wide trailer, and like all the portable units, it's got a ramp. A long zigzag ramp that's always annoyed me. It's a time killer when you're running late, a bottleneck when the release bell rings, and it's noisy. Clomp, clomp, clomp. People come up it in the middle of class to deliver messages and whatnot. It always wrecks my concentration when we're testing. Plus, it's ugly. Painted wood, pipe guardrail. Some teachers try, but there's nothing anyone can do to camouflage it. It is what it is. And what it is now is my only way into the classroom. This bothers me more than it should. When I was a freshman, my friends and I used to swing under the guardrail to get inside the classroom, leap over it to get out. It was just quicker. Teachers scolded it out of us, or maybe we just grew up. But as Fiona rolls me up the ramp, I see my options as closed. I can no longer catapult, or swing, or slide. I can only roll. Something about this makes me grab the wheels and push. Careful, Fiona says. Don't get your fingers caught. Just let me do it, I tell her. But when she lets go, I discover that pushing myself is not easy. The motion's all forearms and triceps, and I don't seem to have much strength in them. I also can't steer very well, and by the time I've maneuvered the chair to face the second half of the ramp, I'm holding up traffic. Go ahead, I grumble to the people waiting, and I let Fiona finish pushing me inside. And then I'm distracted by something I hadn't even considered. Where do I sit? Am I supposed to get out of the wheelchair and hop over to my regular seat? Should I stay in the wheelchair at the back of the classroom? How am I supposed to take notes? Miss Alloy comes to the rescue. Oh, Jessica, she says, moving towards the back of the classroom. It's so good to see you. No one seemed to know when you'd be returning. She drags an empty desk alongside my wheelchair and says, I'll get them to deliver a table for you, but for today, will this work? Sure, I tell her, and try to smile like everything's just dandy. Miss Alloy? Fiona says, signaling me to get out my English assignment sheet. Here's a list of the homework Jessica's missed. She hasn't been able to do it. I'm sure you can understand that. And now she's overwhelmed by everything she has to catch up on, so we're wondering which of these you'll excuse her from. Miss Alloy looks directly at Fiona. Fiona holds her gaze. She has 6 classes, Miss Alloy. She shakes the list a little and says, They're all like this. Then she gives Miss Alloy a pleading look. There must be some leeway. Miss Alloy takes the list and smiles at me. We'll work something out. The tardy bell has rung, so she heads to the front of the class calling, Good morning, everybody. Let's welcome Jessica back. Everyone claps and whistles, and a couple of people even stand up. Fiona grins and gives me a wink as she moves to her assigned seat. It's a wink that means something specific. You can make it. You can do this. 1 down, 5 to go.